everything is about a fraud, but the cheerleaders on Wall Street blew this thing up to be a multi-billion-dollar company. Here is the point. It is the pension funds, the savings accounts, and the insurance policies. That capital is called institutional money. That is what the money managers, that's what the hedge funds, that's what the investment banks, they essentially took the deplorables money and they put it into these companies. In fact, as you know, one of the biggest reasons right now that Wall Street's fighting us, because now we've ripped the mask off, is they're sitting saying, hey, if you listen to Kevin Freeman and Kyle Bass and Roger Robinson's band and all these wild, crazy men, the Chinese stocks are going to drop and the pension funds are going to have huge gaps in their returns. The question's got to be, how did we allow American pension fund money to go in to finance Chinese companies and not American companies? The Thrift Savings Plan really put this out in the open, where they were taking $800 billion of government employees, intelligence, people working in the intelligence apparatus, and our soldiers and troops, and taking their money and starting to fund into these indexes that would have basically financed Chinese national security companies that would be used to attack the United States. It took something like that to really expose how bizarre and evil this is. It all gets down to money, as you know, and you were one of the first ones to highlight on Economic War Room. It's because Wall Street makes money. The City of London makes money in fees and underwritings and then advisory fees after that, and they play up the stocks that this has been allowed to exist. I think we're seeing in those victories, people are saying, this is ridiculous. We can't allow this to go on.
Oh, it is ridiculous. But what we're doing is we're training financial advisors. We're working with Liberty University, and we're training people to weaponize their money, weaponize their giving, their spending, and their investing. So what can small investors do? We talk about the small ships of Dunkirk and how Operation Dynamo would not have succeeded if the average British citizen hadn't participated, hadn't taken their pleasure craft across the channel and helped get people off the mole and into the destroyers, or even all the way across the channel. What can small investors do? What can the small ships do?
In fact, the small investors, I think, the ones that are going to drive it. Number one, you should go and continue to watch shows like Economic War Room and War Room Pandemic. Just get as much information as possible. We always have links. Just learn as much as you can. Then start talking to your neighbors. Every time you're at the club playing golf, every time you're there, just start pounding time and time again of what's going on with China. Make sure that you're sending emails and letters to your congressman. When you go online, go into the comment section. The little guy can drive the narrative. Remember, it's the entrepreneurs that create the most jobs in this country. It's the entrepreneurs that really move where our economy is. That's why coming out of this horrific pandemic, this economic crisis, we're going to be led by entrepreneurs. And the entrepreneurs, it's the giant companies that are making money off China. It's the American-based entrepreneurs that have been getting screwed. And now's your time to stand up. This information is coming out. Every day you're going to see. I got to tell you, by the fall, this is going to be a massive national interest issue. So be at the vanguard of that. Just continue to get information, continue to go to these sites, and continue to talk about it. Continue to put these stories forward. Get up on your social media account. If you don't have a social media account, get one. Start one and start linking to these stories. Just become part of the phalanx, because just like in Dunkirk, it was the little boats that got us off the beach. It's going to be the little guy that gets us off the beach here. And that's why I keep saying victory begets victory. And no matter how small the victories are now, they're going to add up to a huge cumulative amount, and we're going to hit a tipping point, and then we're going to run the CCP out of here.
That's great. Steve, thank you so much for your leadership in this area. It's terrific.
Well, with guys like you, Kevin, it's not really, I'm just part of the team, but it's been fantastic. And I got to tell you, it's the top of the second inning. We got a long way to go, and that's why your audience is so key. I'm just glad to be here in the Economic War Room.